Fiction.
Fiction. Fiction.
Fiction.
Fiction.
Never died. She's created an elaborate fictional structure, and she gives us all parts to play in that. Fiction, fiction, fiction.
I said I'm not interested.
But you promised!
Nothing happens. They're fiction. Fiction. Fiction.
But it's fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction.
You're the German chap, the grounded one. The one who helps you distinguish fact from fiction.
I also like science fiction.
Hello? You are going to love my book idea.
Serial killers who devise elaborate death traps are the stuff of pulp fiction.
These 3 pages.
They're paper.
And?
They're fiction.
Getting warmer.
Captain Gates, I can personally vouch.
I am not interested, Mr. Castle, as you specialize in fiction.
That real, and I don't like things or people who present fiction as truth.
I like that. It's like some monster out of a science fiction movie.
I thought you were taking journalism, not science fiction writing.
Friend. Sure, it's fan fiction about him. Joe, help me out here.
Element.
Element.
Element. Element. Element.
You?
He brought the entire thing in, every element, every element, every element. I mean, look at it, it's the friggin' Sistine Chapel. I know the guy was an engineer or whatever, but man.
There's a lot of stuff in there, but it mostly focuses on transmutation, which is the process of altering the structure of an element by unzipping the atoms.
And rebuilding it to create an entirely new element. Element.
I'm gonna hold on to this in case you two run into some unsavory element.
Tiles, they're made of tungsten. Well, tungsten does have the highest melting point of any other element.
See, look, you can actually see it vibrate.
Of course, no, because there's more than one element.
And at last, he was in his element.
So much for the element of surprise.
With those elements, I can't think of a version that ends well.
Element of surprise is key. See, I can be circumspect. Folks would be lost without me.
Especially once a rogue element in China's own military claims responsibility.
A little out of my element.
Look, I know you're out of your element.
I'm fine.
Well, we still have the element of surprise on our side.
Liable.
Liable. Liable. Liable. Liable.
Herself or someone else. I mean, I'm no lawyer, but wouldn't the hospital be liable? Liable?
He's a dangerous guy. Now, I've warned you. If anything happens to her, you're liable. Wow.
Yeah, it's the perfect legal trap. They're liable because the religion wouldn't let them act.
It's a relief for them, isn't it? The hospital isn't liable anymore, are you?
Well, things are liable to get a whole lot rougher.
Besides, he holds a grudge. He's liable to blackmail me and bail him out.
Hey, you keep your wife out here, someone's liable to steal her.
Oh, you promise? See you inside.
Hey, Lila, come on! Lila, they have our credit card. We're liable for the damages.
Arrhythmia, muscle tremors, and yes, mental changes. If his heart doesn't rupture, he's liable to rip it out and give it away.
Guys, if the truth about the defect came out, then Modesto would be liable for hundreds of millions of dollars in damages.
You knew they'd stop at nothing to get it back.
Get that hose over to the north face and we're liable to lose the whole block!
Hey, be careful. He's liable to be aftershocks. Oh, I'm counting on it.
Keep my promises.
Keep on lying like that. You're liable to get struck by lightning again. Get up to the lab. Start processing the evidence from the gun store.
Rarely.
Rarely.
Really?
Rarely.
Arranged marriages are rarely so well arranged.
Do you think Mother will like him?
They rarely do in my experience.
You have a good deal of experience, do you?
This family of plankton created the coral reefs. Coral is a creature we rarely actually see by day. Rarely actually see by day. Rarely actually see by day.
The point is that the painting is so rarely reproduced. I don't even know if I've seen a reproduction, in fact.
Do you really think this is a good idea?
There are plenty of case histories of patients going back to where they suffered trauma. Actually, it's very rarely effective.
They are full of vague and glorious ideas on which they rarely deliver. Case in point.
Are you ready? Finished?
You know, people are rarely honest with me. I am. Are you?
I'm from Chicago myself. Lawndale is funny. Where I come from, brothers rarely see that type of green, so it's not reasonable, you know.
I love that feeling.
You've had it so rarely.
Yeah, well, you'll disappoint him soon enough.
The move I made on that day, the results are not going to be good, okay? I mean, these situations, they rarely are.
No, that would be very unlike her.
Laura rarely took from the trust. She didn't want the family money. It was a point of pride with her, you know.
Target of opportunity such as this rarely presents itself twice.
Agreed.
Instrument. Instrument.
Instrument.
Instrument. Instrument.
Oh, and incidentally, I asked for some cheese. Not an instrument of biological warfare.
So there's the receiver. That's the instrument panel, the instrument panel, the instrument panel. It's got 10 luminous buttons.
Be careful, sir. The instrument that you are handling could be a threat for your health.
The wagon has all of our instruments on it, so we're very excited about it. And I want to...
I don't see any instruments.
Your powers of observation continue to serve you well.
We innovate. We create the financial instruments on which the entire continent now relies.
When His Holiness called me to be his instrument, he tested my resolve.
All it takes is a surgeon. And the right instrument.
It's Ra's custom to leave behind the instrument of death as a memorial to honor the fallen.
I didn't defy death just to become an instrument of it.
We are justice.
All stations report I'm on instruments on altitude 100 feet on airspeed 99.
But every instrument scan showed the stone was solid all the way through.
Will that even work on a human being?
In theory. But it is an instrument of last resort. You must understand that there are risks.
Acquaint.
Acquaint. Acquaint.
Acquaint.
Acquaint.
Mayor Weldon and Laura Cambridge were acquainted. I don't know much about her at all. She wasn't here very long.
Looks like you have your next visitor. I'll get out here and I'll let you two get acquainted.
Coca. Yes. I definitely think you need to get acquainted with it.
But have no fear. This particular devil and I are well acquainted. Here we go.
And remember, if you need any help, I'm acquainted with your finances.
And I'm acquainted with your attitude. Don't say a word.
Hello, I'm calling from Max's Homemade Cupcakes to acquaint you with our new Morning with Max's special.
See, I think you'd prefer that it did.
Are you acquainted with Eileen Morgan?
Yes. Well, you've been working for me for over a month, and I figured it was time we got acquainted.
Okay, right on. So, you guys have the rest of the day to get acquainted with your security protocol handbooks, waiting in your new digs.
Want to speak to the captain.
Well, he's presently indisposed. Wanted us to get acquainted until he gets here.
You haven't even asked. Yeah, I've read extensively on the Gravedigger. I'm acquainted with the profile.
My name's Payne, and if your name's as accurate as mine, then we should get better acquainted.
I'm on my way. Okay, you've become acquainted with my office already. Feel free to use it for as long as you need.
Discuss.
Discuss. Discuss.
Discuss.
Discuss.
I've come to the university where I've taken the liberty of calling together a few of my colleagues to discuss your case.
to discuss your case. To discuss your case.
The moment I did what I did, I regretted it.
I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to discuss it. It's past. It's over. You can't take that.
When you are ready, I would be downstairs. And we can discuss what comes next.
We will discuss the matter with the three girls' parents at the appropriate time. The decision will and should be theirs. In the meantime...
What am I being arrested for? Can you tell me that, please? We can discuss this downtown, sir.
I believe what I have to discuss is a little bit above your pay grade.
So, how would you like to take care of this?
Well, we are just going to step right over here and discuss our many, many, many options of how to sort this whole thing out.
And that's about as much as I'm going to ever discuss past relationships.
Excellent plan.
I wouldn't fault him in the slightest. Now, shall we discuss delivery?
Rex, at sundown.
Please, sweetheart, Oliver. Walter and I have something to discuss with you. Come, please sit.
Come up. But Helena would love to take you to dinner and discuss the deal further. Oh.
I was hoping that I could take a look at the file and...
I'm not at liberty to discuss an ongoing police investigation with you.
Therapy.
Therapy. Therapy.
Therapy.
Therapy.
The residents tend to the grounds as part of their therapy. Therapy.
If you didn't kill him, then who did, sir?
Who can say? Best thing for him, really. His therapy was going nowhere.
Can we have a minute, please?
No, you can't.
I would like to talk to Jack.
This is geopolitics. It's not couples therapy. Therapy.
I could come as often as you want. I could come 2 or 3 times a week. I was in therapy once before, and I remember that structure really helps with hopelessness.
Maybe we could go together. Yes, no bad. You can come back to London with us. Go to therapy with Luke.
Brought right back here after group therapy. Locked her in. Came back for a midnight round. She was gone.
What? Why?
Because I can't let you go, and I still need a lot of therapy.
Any idea you like, she's still going to see through it as some deceitful therapy.
Right, eventually. After college and some therapy. Twice a week. Insurance covered it.
No?
Family therapy. All this stuff with your father?
This office is for therapy and counseling only. I would not tolerate anyone recording what is said in here.
No one in my family, besides Tom, has ever been to therapy.
Estate.
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 Estate, huh?
Mm-hmm. This was the estate, huh?
Mm-hmm.
This was the estate, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yours truly.
The esteemed General Zin requests a private audience with the Dragon Warrior at his country estate. Country estate. Country estate.
Sherry must have bought it at the estate sale. The estate sale. The estate sale.
Help you.
Murphy versus Dunleavy. The state charged a real estate developer for turning away low-income tenants based on his so-called morality.
John Nickel is one of the wealthiest real estate developers in Sterling City. He is also one of the dirtiest.
So sorry, I just don't understand what you mean when you say claim your title.
Well, it's common for people in the first estate to leave a trust for any potential recurrence.
Getting through this wall is just the beginning. There's a whole lot of real estate in between here and the outside walls.
Pennsylvania, 17 calls.
That's it.
We're searching for recent non-residential real estate transactions made by Yurjevich.
We'd like to host an engagement fete for the families at our country estate.
Serial number belongs to a lot that was sold by the manufacturer directly to Fuller Estate Management.
Just that the victim purchased it a year and a half ago and paid cash for the full amount.
Yeah, the real estate agent was surprised anyone bought it. It'd been on the market for quite a while.
Original.
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 But it has to be an original song in English. And I don't know if you realize this, but English is not my first language.
Rookie move. Shouldn't have taken it out of the original packaging.
This is just the box I play with. I also have a Master Yao in a box, and it's original box, it's original box, it's original box in the closet. In a box.
Boxes.
Shocking. Okay then, Oz aside, we stick to the original plan. Original plan. Original plan. Arm up, then attack.
The original right of pardon and reinstatement my lawyers procured for him and Mr. Apini.
But any expert's gonna look at that gospel and know it's the Gutenberg original.
Mind you, the ancient Egyptians believed that one can only create a truly original perfume by adding an extra note.
We tried to keep it as close to the original as possible. Salvaged as much as we could.
This is the original.
God. Friction will break the arc back into its original stations.
Some of the stations, and we can't predict which.
DeMarco.
The Bureau's original senator. We came up with a plan to get out from under Arya Damian.
We need to get a copy of the original report. I think you're right.
You got the original coroner's report I sent over?
I did.
The big one in the living room?
That's an original. He can't sell that.
Latitude.
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 25.
The astronaut. The numbers indicate latitude and longitude. Latitude and longitude. Latitude and longitude.
Yeah, about that. Few ground rules. I know you guys are used to having some latitude, but on this, you go where I go, and that's it. Got it? 121915. Not latitude or longitude. Latitude or longitude. Latitude or longitude. Doesn't work as a phone number. Too short for a social security number.
Coordinates. Yes, sir. Mark 2113, latitude 46 degrees north, longitude 118 west.
Doesn't matter what Farage thinks about Heathrow. How much latitude does he get to pick targets?
I think he'll give up the salaries, but Heathrow's gonna be tough.
Go to that landless latitude. And good luck.
So, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna kick this case upstairs to someone with the latitude to clean up this mess without breaking into a sweat. We're gonna bring this to Thompson.
It's a big world. We've pulled anything arid and everything above and below 60 degrees latitude, but they're estimating it could take 32 hours.
His location. What are the coordinates?
Tori plotted the longitude and latitude of the geotag, and we got an address in downtown Manhattan.
And what's there?
Mention anything to me, though I suppose that wasn't unusual. I gave him a lot of latitude. Paul was my top investigator.
The Greek symbol phi.
Phi.
Which?
Phi, which is sometimes used to denote latitude.
Bingo.
Yes, absolutely. I'll grant the team a modicum of latitude, Louis.
Coordinates. Longitude and latitude.
Subconscious.
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 The power of the subconscious. Subconscious. Subconscious.
So I'm making you up.
Well, sorta. I'm part of your subconscious, man.
Going deeper into the ocean is going deeper into the subconscious.
It's a big logical jump from a body's immune response to the brain giving subconscious diagnostic clues.
My subconscious was trying to tell me you could never get through this without drugs.
We have to access Cisco's memories somehow. Somewhere in his subconscious is the key.
The key to what now?
Getting my dad out of prison. Well, obviously I agree, what with you being my subconscious and everything.
Listen to music, twirl a baton, talk about something else. They say your subconscious keeps working the problem, so?
This hallucination could be Booth's subconscious speaking to him through the voice and image of someone that he idolizes. You know, I lodged in his subconscious that his men don't respect him.
They say once you become an expert, your subconscious takes over. Back in my world, that's what we call muscle memory.
When we tell him how we feel, it seeps into his subconscious, it tickles his brain, and it'll make him open his eyes soon, okay?
Barn.
Barn.
Barn. Barn.
Barn.
I was talking to someone down at the farm. Said you gave a real barn burner this morning.
Yeah, that's my house. Why is it marked?
Okay, doesn't matter. Look, I'm gonna be out of the barn in an hour.
Side the trees, I want to say on the left. But that may have been a barn. I remembered the best I could, Jen.
I told you, he shot himself. No, Corbin did. Yeah. I saw him through the barn planks. Don't worry about this. We'll be fine. There's a barn on the other side of the woods. We'll move up there.
Oh no, man. This barn smells like horse shit.
Rick, if I wanted to ambush you, I'd do it here. You know, light the barn on fire while you slept, pick you off as you ran out the only exit.
I meant, I hate banging around my lonely old barn of a house.
What is it this time, a squirrel? Probably a barn rat.
So I need you to come with us to our barn.
We have no idea where Joe and Angie are meeting.
There's so many places to hide. We'll start with McAllister's old barn.
Linda, you there?
So you can train, lift weights, climb that stupid barn till your heart explodes, but you'll never be as fast as I am.
That happened 100 yards from your house, and you had no idea what was going on.
I never go to the barn. I ran it out.
Here, look at this. Burglary, arson, vandalism, barn burning. Now, how is barn burning different from arson?
Us? We've only brought a car.
No time for any of that. Where's the nearest clean water?
There's a water pipe in the barn.
Scan.
Scan. Scan. Scan.
Scan.
3 doctors, a bunch of BS scans, and a social worker, all for a sprained wrist. What a scam.
Liability.
You mentioned testing. How many CT scans did you run on Marjorie?
Excuse me, Your Honor. I'm fine with it.
Scan. Yeah, do the scan.
Painting is stolen, but is real.
We'll see. Needs density scan.
What is density scan?
Okay.
I don't know.
But you said that the PET scan was encouraging.
Well, the PET scan is encouraging, but we don't know how long it'll stay that way.
And barcoding. When we take 20 pills out of stock, we scan the prescription bottle to log the pills, then scan the stock bottle.
I've read your books. Well, if I'm really honest, I had some of my overeducated young persons scan them and give me the headlines.
Today.
You scan the price and hit return, tax, total. Got it?
Yeah, no, I can scan shit.
It's over. And it's obvious to any doctor who looked at this scan, even a shrink.
The VQ scan last night showed a pulmonary aneurysm, explaining it's the coughing blood.
Pituitary damage wouldn't be visible on a CT scan.
Okay, so after a quick scan of his Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, and Instagram, here is what I know.
We're right. The Kinseys must have contacted Gloria Copeland. She's begun shredding the documents. I'm getting the scans now.
Expert.
Expert. Expert. Expert.
Expert.
Look, I'm not an expert on love, but I think...
Cocoons? Not an expert.
There aren't any experts.
That's not entirely true.
These fakes would have to stand up to carbon dating and expert scrutiny shit.
You're very calm, man. You're the expert, I think.
She's in her study. We don't usually see her before 9.
She's an expert in loony extremists. I need a large birthday cake by 5 o'clock. Don't worry, our expert bakers can have it ready for you in time.
Oh, you're here to advise me now, are you?
I wouldn't dare. When it comes to women, you're the expert.
But
My professional opinion as an expert risk taker is that you and I are a risk worth taking.
But I mind seeing him go, but can we afford to lose our expert on ships and their capabilities?
What is it?
I explained to you that guns were weapons of emotion and unpredictability, but since you are far from an expert at archery, this will have to do for now.
Including one very blonde IT expert.
Qualified as expert marksman last year.
It's crisis averted. What are you, demolition expert? What if you're wrong?
Mr. Ward here is something of an expert on S.H.I.E.L.D. And you, an expert on the obelisk. Together, I think there's much we can achieve.
Look, I'm no ballistics expert. But it's a safe bet Dr. Manchester was shot with a gun modified with Vom Tech.
Headline.
Headline.
Headline. Headline.
Headline.
That headline makes you look less guilty?
How about I just give you the headline? Headline.
Sure, newsboy. Headline away.
The headline today was about some catastrophic flood in Sri Lanka.
Oh, so we lucked out.
Yes, we did.
Just trying to keep you boys inspired.
How's this headline for inspiration?
Really, crew chief kicks nerdbot? That's a great headline for your resume, sister.
I can have you arrested for interfering with an investigation.
FBI muzzles free press. Makes a good headline.
And now back to our headline news. Chicago real estate developer Gerald Costco is
I smell a headline.
The only reason that headline doesn't say moron crushed by train is luck.
Next headline is going to be moron goes undiagnosed because doctors won't talk about his ear pain.
Hi. There's your headline. How about a photo of all of you?
Sure, yes.
Where is the headline about how we busted our humps and saved 3 guys?
Perspective. Perspective. Perspective.
Perspective.
Perspective.
Okay, maybe from our perspective, he could have done more. Made himself more of a resume and a paper trail.
Surrounding Derek's incarceration. How these events helped shape your present perspective concerning life in contemporary America.
I want to know why. It was never my intention to kill Nora. But from my perspective, she was already dead.
I'm not a rewrite, man. I'm the writer. I'm the one who puts the facts into perspective. Oh.
Great program at Fox River. You'll have a mentor who you'll work with weekly, give you a little perspective.
A mentor?
This puzzles needs to be viewed from a different perspective. Painting it's about more than just strokes. There's perspective.
Those he employed.
And I will gladly respond in kind.
Consider their perspective.
You lack perspective.
Da Vinci, stay your hand.
She wants payback.
What's the many fights I've had with my father in perspective?
I've been keeping tabs on Helena over the past year. Last known sighting was a month ago, Palermo.
Took getting locked up to give me some perspective. You're keeping to yourself?
I've been taking care of Lincoln.
Okay, but from our perspective, we don't even know what to call them.
Inhumans.
Rhythm. Rhythm.
Rhythm. Rhythm.
Rhythm.
What if she doesn't sign it?
Deep breaths. Steady rhythm. Steady rhythm. Steady rhythm. Drive and glide.
It shows her that you can compromise, work together. Find a rhythm. Move forward in the same direction.
It's psychology. You get him to lower his guard. One sentence at a time. Build a rhythm. It's a lot like music.
Wow, they just totally threw me off rhythm.
Feel its rhythm. We have to be close enough to touch.
Well, all in all, it was a pretty good childhood, full of repeated rhythms and patterns.
Jordan. Normal sinus rhythm. Heart rate's fine.
BP's dropping. For 14 minutes, I leaned against the window, feeling the rhythm of the train moving.
That's how I did it.
And then I met you. And we just fell into this rhythm like we had known each other forever.
How can he be seizing? He has no heart rhythm.
Starting compressions.
Arm.
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 You know, all I want to do is go back. Would you let go of my arm? Arm.
Zach! Zach! What happened?
It's my arm. It's my arm. It's my arm.
Where?
I was skateboard.
Oh my God, that's your mom's arm. You're famous. No, your mother's arm. The arm is famous.
There are trees everywhere.
No! Hey!
Sorry. So sorry.
How would you like it if I just walked up to you and broke your arm off?
Ow.
3 times removed. On your right arm side.
You have a cousin?
Frank, if your arm could talk, he would tell you that the original owner of your arm had a brother.
Nice weekend. You call this a nice weekend? This is sad. I give my left arm to be with my wife right now, and all Sammy wants to do is cheat on his.
Like your fight. You got my arm, you little sod.
Let's get you looked at first. How's that arm doing?
Hurts like shit.
Oh my fucking God, is he alright?
Look at all my blood, Mom.
Is it just his arm? There's...
What happened to your arm?
I dropped my keys in the porta potty. Tried to get them out.
What's going on with your arm?
It's been sore since I woke up.
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Hypothesis. Hypothesis.
Yes.
Has it been proved scientifically?
Well, for the moment, it's just hypothesis, 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 I confess.
With an orange? And that somehow has you convinced he's innocent?
I was testing a hypothesis and it began to form back in Victor Nardin's hotel room. It was odd.
Now, if Ginn still has the printer, or if we can compel him to confirm our hypothesis, we can prove that I was...
Family fortune. I tried to warn him he wouldn't listen, so I set about proving my hypothesis.
7 times, if memory serves, once in a pod on the London Eye.
Maybe that's where Gaspar and his team are supposed to take her.
Fine hypothesis. This method best explains that and the grisly amputation. Far better than my initial tow truck hypothesis.
Snap your spine, accelerate.
See, I don't think you really do.
Well, let's test your hypothesis.
Oh, I think you're willing to, but wants a different thing.
Financial.
Financial.
Financial. Financial. Financial.
Peterson is one of the youngest large-cap hedge fund managers in the financial industry. Financial industry. Financial industry.
We find new fans there for American baseball. The financial opportunities are endless.
My new financial consultant will work out the details.
When they write me about their financial problems, but my staff has been trying to get me to stop.
Why can't you invest in saving us from financial ruin?
The financial genius, generous, the philanthropist. He's such a phony.
It's cash law, financial statements, accounting ledgers that provide our dad with a bargaining chip of some sort.
So he was under financial pressure? Is it possible that he went back to old habits?
So Ms. Dewey called me up, out of the blue, and wanted to meet and go over some financial issues.
Whose financial issues? Her own?
She didn't say.
For what?
We met last month at a financial channel party. She was... Well, there was nothing unusual in his phone or financial records.
Air.
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 The beach. Houses built before 1997. Clean air, clean air, clean air. I bet the schools are good. I hadn't counted on the dying woman in the living room, but...
You have a plan, don't you? It's not about the clean air, clean air, clean air. It's all part of a plan.
Charlie. Charlie. How about you and I go for a walk?
No. No thanks. Look, I think I'm gonna stay in today.
Come on. Fresh air will do you good.
Going off between the Marine Corps and the Air Force. So security clearance could narrow those choices.
The Air Force doesn't want us going through their dirty laundry.
I may not see the air as polluted, but that doesn't mean it's not.
Nice office.
Thanks. I get a lot more air here.
Hello, Kiriagos.
Oh, Mr. Agos. What can I do for you today?
Hello, Mr. Gross. I'm thrilled we got you. I've been trying you on your cell.
Yeah, I was up in the air. Now I'm on the ground, heading to your office.
What are you doing there, Kalinda?
How are you, Dana? I was just enjoying the night air.
I wanted to toast your new venture.
My new...
Yes, your little rebellion. It's in the air. Like Les Miserables.
Everybody get back! Get back, give him air!
You're an amazing lady.
And you're an idiot. Air out the van and keep your smoke private. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Vehicle.
Vehicle. Vehicle. Vehicle. Vehicle.
My kids.
And yet I see no kids emerging from the vehicle.
Well, we were chatting.
Stocks of raw materials, gas, factory ships, transport of vehicles, and cruise ships.
Vehicle recovery services.
Yeah, this is Detective Fusco, shield number 7645. I'm trying to turn on the locator in a stolen vehicle. Report number is Lima 377.
All right, turn around, guys.
Chop, guys. Turn around.
This vehicle was involved in a hit and run the other night.
This is Officer Burton. I have an abandoned vehicle registered to a missing person, one Martha Hooper. Please advise.
Orson once threw half a diet soda at a man, but we were in a moving vehicle, so I don't...
License plate numbers.
Hundreds of them, along with the registered address of each vehicle.
Why would you have that?
Look at the plate numbers.
Delivery truck stolen a few days ago.
Their truck matches the make and model of the truck the thief used to steal the centrifuge. Can you track the vehicle?
We've been trying.
Maybe it's not the cold confines of a moving vehicle that brings out the worst in my kids. Maybe...
As I was saying, our perp yanked 3 ATMs after he boosted the vehicle. ATM security cameras caught him on video. Missed, you know why I pulled you over? The vehicle was swerving.
Sorry about that.
Yellow cab driver, get out of your vehicle. Get out of your vehicle now.
Objection.
Objection.
Objection. Objection.
Objection.
Objection, 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 hearsay. Yes, we all heard you say it.
Objection, objection, objection. Your Honor, the defense is leading the witness.
We must also have consciousness.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor.
You're after prom anyway, right?
Any objections to Quail Gardens?
No objections. Isn't... Oh, God.
You're upset?
I'm upset. You just said you killed Louis Prothero.
I might have killed the fingerman that attacked you, but I heard no objection then.
What?
Margot and I barely talked at all.
It's your senior prom. I don't understand the objection.
I have so many objections, Mom. Like, slow dancing.
Shame!
Objection, Magistrate. I cannot comprehend why a foreigner is being allowed to testify here today.
I called the esteemed Friar Tokamak.
Right. Before we begin, does anyone have a jig of objection? Then skip that part.
I think we're gonna need a continuance.
Objection.
Overruled.
Any objections?
She's never seen action like this before.
Objection noted, Lieutenant. She's going.
Well, you can tell the doctor that you opened the cupboard for the chairman of the board. I assure you he will raise not the slightest objection.
Defense Exhibit D.
Objection. Your Honor, this tape is the very propaganda that Michael Schofield and Lincoln Burrows released to the media.
Remote. 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 Remote.
Remote.
It's when you buy a skyscraper, always spring for the elevator remote. The elevator remote. The elevator remote.
You're doing, Miss Miller. This does not end well for you. If you just put the monote down, put the monote down, put the monote down, we'll never speak of this. My office, please.
Ooh, automatic door remote. Door remote. Door remote. That's very beast, sir.
Now listen carefully. You're to break into the control room, access the remote system.
Oh, yeah, but I want to try something. I'll crack into the phone company's remote monitoring system and fool it into thinking there's a legal tap on the line.
Who controls? The guy who invented TV Begun is speaking. It's a remote. You walk into a bar and turn off.
Dangerous, deadly, but remote. Think harder, brother.
Sir, remote detonations failed.
We are negative for go-side separation, negative for launch.
It's a remote connectivity issue.
Is it working?
I'm using the bug to remote access the computer right now.
One of the Aldermen has a pacemaker.
If it's remote programmable,
it'll have a GPS.